What is happening? Welcome back to the Past Alive. Thank you all for tuning in. Tonight, we have a very special occasion. The reason we are gathered here is to head back to the year 2004, whenever this god awful abomination of a baseball card repack product was released. I have opened these several times. They're always a great time, even though they're so absolutely awful and rivaling the Three Bros and a Card Store releases, but they are just so much fun regardless. We should look forward to seeing the same of many obscure cards. The box that once made the 81 Topps Jim Wolford, the Skeletor card, famous. I remember pulling about 13 of this from one box. Maybe it was more than that, but just the most random cards in every single pack. But back then in 2004, if you happened to open one of these, you were chasing after randomly inserted autograph cards, which were redemptions, and the redemptions are very ghetto on just random pieces of paper that were printed on, and I don't know if you could ever even claim them, but I opened a case of these a while back and pulled a bunch of those, and it's just overall a very interesting product. You're going to see a bunch of commons. You might see a couple star players and Hall of Famers. I think every box has a hit in it. It's usually the star stickers from the early 80s. But that's what we're doing tonight. It's been about 3 years since I've opened this product, and I couldn't be more excited for it, honestly. So thank you guys all for being here. We got 24 elongated packs in this box. There's 7 cards per pack. Bunch of propaganda pieces that will be inside of here. These are very hard to find. They're a hot commodity. I got this. It was actually a bulk lot. A guy listed 2 of them on eBay for like 30 bucks. And there was a little fiasco with that because he said before he shipped it out, he said his kids opened the one box and then he generously offered me a box of 88 Donruss in return, which I declined. So he ended up refunding me half the money. So I paid about 20 bucks for this. But if you look on eBay right now, you cannot find a single one. That's how hot of an item they truly are. So if you have not seen the Rollie Fingers Yak Packs, well then welcome. Buckle up and get comfortable because it's always a freaking wild ride no matter what. We just never know what we're going to find in here. So I'm very, very intrigued. I'm excited. I've had this box sitting around for a couple months now. I figured tonight is the night. We're going to see what we can find in these crazy packs. You see the elongated wrappers that are just excessively and abnormally long. I don't know why they do that, but the cards are regular size, obviously. We got Trevor Williams in the house member for 28 months, says Rollie Fingers, Ghetto Superstar. What is going on, Trevor? Appreciate you, man. And we have Lee, Criterium Racer, says, going to be the best rip ever. What is happening, Lee? Always a pleasure to see you. Please subscribe to Criterium Racer if one of the mods could post a link for his channel. Actively posting card videos on there if you have not seen them yet. But it says search the packs for over 10,000 randomly inserted autograph cards. They were giving away tickets. And apparently, somebody that actually met Rollie Fingers at a card show in the last couple of years said Rollie Fingers completely denied any association with this product. Here's the star cards, 1 in 20 packs. Autograph cards were 1 in 100. Prizes from Rollie's collection. It's interesting that he was giving stuff away from his own collection, even though he supposedly knew nothing about them. 1 in almost 5,000 packs. Or you can get a grand prize trip to the 04 World Series. 1 in 500,000 packs. Who is going to open that much of these? I would if I could find them. Trust me. Let's get down to business. Appreciate you guys for being here. We have 87 tops. I hope we're not going to see a whole lot of this John Butcher. I would not be surprised if that is in every single pack. We got Brian Charles and a mess of things and everybody else in here. Ed Smiley, thank you for being here. 92 Fleer Ultra, Vicente Palacios. Never cared for him even though he was on the hometown team. There's Kurt Manwaring. We have a random 84 tops though. And of course, they just berate you with all kinds of leaflets advertising more Rollie Fingers junk and all kinds of stuff. So you'll see those in every pack. We got a Joe Carter 92 tops, having the time of his life. 88 Donruss, of course, is going to be in there. And a Butch Weiniger 86 tops, which I do like the design of that set a lot. I always will like those, even though the set's not amazing as far as like rookie cards go and stuff in the rookie class, but still an awesome design nonetheless. Paul L says propaganda galore. You're going up against the first NFL game. Yeah, probably not the best night to do it, but these have been taunting me for weeks upon weeks. So we have the exact same collation of sets. The first card is 87 tops, yet again, Blue Jays leaders, and some more 92 Ultra. Matt Williams, probably the best card we've seen so far, 84 tops. I would never complain about getting 84 tops cards in there. And then for whatever reason, the last 3 cards are upside down, so they're automatically deemed short prints. And a George Brett now takes the place of the Matt Williams. Jim Olander looking very depressed and down in the dumps in that. But of course, I love the Topps rookie cards on the back of there. So 2 packs in, and we have not seen any of the same cards. I freaking knew that John Butcher was going to be the new Omen. There he is again. So we might as well start the tally. I feel like we're going to see a good bit of him. But there he is. And I've said it so many times, to actually put these together, it would be so much more difficult to have the same cards. But there he is again. So we have 2 on the count for him. Jim Abbott. There's Will McGee. Same collation. 92 Ultra, 84 tops. What do you want to bet? Joe Carter is coming up again. And they threw us a curveball. Here's 83. The propaganda pieces are covering the desk already. Mikey Jesus Butcher, I don't even know her. Rick Leach is 83 tops. Joe Carter yet again. And Fred Lynn is our 88 Donruss. You guys seeing a pattern here. So 2 Joe Carters, 2 John Butchers. I'm looking forward to getting a whole stack of those come the end of the video. Greg Matthews starting this one off, and they threw us an 84 Fleer. Leon Roberts. I mean, if you do TTMs or for kids, these are definitely fun. If you're an actual collector, let's have Fred Lynn again. Butch Weiniger 86 tops. That's 2 for the count. And, of course, the dorky antics of Keith Atherton shine through to end the pack out. His 85 Donruss and his little scum stash looking great under these lights. Continuing on, I probably should sort of tally for a lot of these. Dave Smith and his Eternal Sunglass Tan line, which is kind of blacked out by his hat shadow, flipped upside down. I see 86 tops. There's Ron Say 83. This would almost probably go in my Lost Soul collection because these faces are just like circles in the background. So that's going up to the side. PC, there's Carl Tuffy Rhodes. Matt Young, 92 Ultra. Propaganda pieces aside. Terry Poole. Terry Poole also has an error card in 86 tops, which is kind of like hard to find. It's a streak error. Mitch Webster, Joe Patini. So they're hooking us up with 83s, 84s. Again, if you do TTM, probably a sweet rip, but I would not pay a lot for them because you're not getting that much from them. As you can see, the best card still being the George Brett 91 Donruss, as people would call it. Larry McWilliams in that wild horse kick. Steve Renko, there's a Jesse Barfield, 85. And, of course, 92 Ultra going to be in there. I don't know what this trend is with the cards flipped upside down. They didn't used to be that way. Dave Magadan from 92 scores against Seiko and Gary Gaetti. So throwing us some different cards at least in here. I'm already getting upset that there's not more John Butchers in here. Montgomery with a ding corner. You gotta love that. All kinds of SPs in here. Steve Howard. And I missed some of the chat, and I apologize, but is everything all right with Nick? Is that Nick West? Nick Miller? Jim Abbott, second time seeing that one. All kinds of slop thrown to the side. It gave us an 86 Donruss at least. And, of course, we're going to end it out with 86 tops. Kirk McCaskill. Don't lose hope yet. There could be many more of the same cards in here. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Nick. Nick West actually sent me a bulbous box full of baseball, like vintage. I don't know. A lot of people consider 80s stuff vintage. It's not, obviously, but older 80s and actually 90s. I think they're from 1990, 91. Baseball rookies blister packs. There's a whole freaking box of them that I got yesterday, and as much as I want to keep those sealed because I loved them as a kid, I thought those were so cool seeing them in Kmart. I feel like we have to open them. Whole bunch of 90 tops in there. Maybe the no name on front somehow slipped in there. So thank you. Major shout out to Nick West for sending that, and among the other goodies that he added in there. But it's a sweet package. We're going to tear into it maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Ron Kittle, a big name. That's his second year, Ron Kittle. His 83 Fleer rookie was a big one back then. Doug Sisk. Jim Abbott, yet again. Third time seeing that one. Al Jones, 85, Vaughn Calderon. Interesting photo they chose of him and Randy Johnson. Not that Randy Johnson. 84 tops. There's that Blue Jays card yet again. Second time for the Knights. What else we got inside here? Willie McGee. That's also the second one. Dickie Knowles. Darnell Coles. I feel like I was like stoked on that card back as a kid. Centering on 86 tops is tough. Like that's why if you have really nice condition 86 tops and you get like a 10 on anything, they're pretty big money. The centering is always off. And of course, my arch enemy, Vaughn Hayes, with the strange printing orb on there. I'll save that one to obsess over off camera. Show me John Butchers, Greg Matthews again, Leon Roberts again, Andre David, there's Tim Tuffle. Butch Weiniger, that's the third time seeing that one. Moose Haas, 85 Donruss. Rich Bordy is going to end that pack. Quick rip. Pack wrappers always, they just leave me in awe on why they had to make them that long. Not like they're putting anything special in here. Unless maybe they snuck some 89 Bowmans in at one point. There's the horse kicker yet again. Steve Renko again. Jesse Barfield again. Like, you see what I mean? If you have never seen these before, like to hand collate these packs and put the same 84 Fleer Steve Renko in them or Jesse Barfield, like, I think it would be so much easier just to take random commons and load them up. Sandberg, so it seems like the 91 Donruss is what they're hooking us up with as far as like star players go. We've seen... we've seen Canseco, we've seen Brett, and now Sandberg. Cecil Westby, Gold Cup. Kelly Mann. Paul L says you have to try to make these this awful. That's very, very true. You can't do it without some effort. The hell? They gave us a more relatively newer card there. Jetman 80 Pops became a channel member. Jetman, thanks, man. Appreciate it, and welcome to the official TPIA cult. Appreciate that greatly. Now you now have access to all of the ridiculous emojis, so if you feel like spamming the chat, I won't blame you at all. Dawn Hood 81 Fleer is a decent one right here from the Kmart set in the late 80s. It's Pete Rose. So, whoa, look at that. We got the hit. I have never pulled the Mantle Star sticker. Starliner. Break at Starline and strip away. That's actually pretty awesome. I think... most of them that I get, I've gotten Pete Rose, I've gotten McCovey, never got the Mantle. I actually PC older Mantle stuff, so that's probably one I might actually keep. That's pretty sweet. So, Yak Packs deliver for the first time in history. In human history, I got something I can actually keep from a Yak Pack rip. Trot Nixon, Paul Mirabella, Anderson, and what do we have here? Mark Clark. All right, buying those a bunch back. Probably before I left the hobby, but sweet Mantle. Star stickers don't have too much value, but regardless, I like them. I think they're cool. Third time for the counts on this one. More 92 Ultra. Second time seeing the Matt Williams. There's a Lazinski 84 Tops. And also, too, Paul L., if you could post a link to Jetman 80 Pops channel. I don't think he's made any videos really as of recently, at least not that I've seen, but... subscribe to him as well. Jetman 80's always in here. Good dude for sure. Darnell Coles for the second time. Vaughn Hayes for the second time as a kid. That would have probably got flushed down the toilet because I hated him so badly, and I don't know why. And there he is. I've been holding my breath for the last several packs, hoping for another John Butcher. Asking you shall receive. That's number 3 on the count. So it's definitely rivaling those awful sports card investment packs in which I pulled, what, I think, was it 10 John Tudor 87 Tops from those? I opened 5 packs, and there were 2 in each pack. And I have a random stack, and I don't know what to do with it because I have memories now. I have an attachment to those cards. The same attachment forming with the John Butchers. Willie McGee, third time seeing that. Dave Rucker, 84 Tops. Mikey G, thank you very much. There's a link to Jetman's channel. Check him out if you'd be so kind. Jones, Vaughn Calderon, that's count number 2. And also number 2 for this Randy Johnson. Imposter. These boxes open too quick. I'm upset about it. I need more John Butcher. There's Kurt Stillwell, second time seeing this. That Kittle again. Steve Howe, the beloved 81 Donruss. Their debut year. And man, did they have so many freaking issues. And the cards are so flimsy. If you didn't know, you'd think that they were custom bootlegs. Jim Abbott, I think that's number 4. Seeing that card. Ken Dixon. And they gave us some 82 Donruss. Jim Bibby. Way too close for comfort in that photo. Jerry Narin ends the pack. Need a pack with Butcher, Dusty Baker, and John Candelaria. How sick would that be? Number 3, Stillwell. Same exact pack. So again, like, to go through the trouble to put the same damn cards in them. There's Jim Gantner, definitely circling the block in the windowless white van, and those shades, and Dennis Lamp. A Wild Gunslinger ends that pack. Show me more Butcher. I need it. John Stupor, 84 tops. Jeff Zahn looking very devious in that tiny little photo. Joe McGrain is a Gary Templeton. And the last, what the hell? We got something. We got a redemption here. And somebody did look up these and look into it to try to find out if it was still a legit business. And it was not. I don't know if it ever was. There's Steve Trout with paper loss. How do you have paper loss on an 88 tops card? Steve Trout always creeped me out. I swear as a kid I thought he was a woman. Maybe he strived to be. Matt Noakes, and here's the Ghetto Redemption. It almost looks like it's marble paper, so it's actually classier than I remember. What do we get? Instant winner. You hold one of the 2004 special prize winning cards. Doesn't even tell you what you got. Oh, autographed helmets. That's how ghetto it is. Somebody wrote that on here in pen, and their handwriting sucks ass. 10,383. They gave away so much stuff. 10,000 random prizes to be exact. It doesn't even tell you what kind of helmets. Just autographed helmets that somebody probably forged. Yeah, Tiburon marketing attention, Huntington Beach. Somebody look it up and call them. I want to redeem this immediately. I need to know. It's probably John Butcher autographed helmets. That's pretty sick, though. You don't get those in every box. I've opened boxes and not gotten squat most of the time, but we got a Mantle Starliner, an instant winner. I'm pretty sure that's like an empty warehouse now. I think that somebody looked it up or tried to reach out to him. Shaka's Closet member for 2 months as a coalition and straight from the Twilight Zone. You're not kidding, man. It's so bad that it's so much fun. And again, these boxes are so hard to find. You will not find one on eBay currently. I follow the search on there, so if someone lists a Yak Pack box, I'm notified on my phone, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I got to go in there and buy that right away if it's a reasonable price. Because I can't get enough of them. Three Bros, also equally awful, but this is definitely the better release of the two of them. Stillwell for the 4th freaking time in this box. Ed Smiley says this is a hot Yak Pack. There's a link to Shaka's Closet channel. Steve Howard, Carney Lansford. Jim Abbott for the 5th time, I want to say. Propaganda pieces aside. A guy Eddie, 85 tops with some speckled paper loss. And of course, how can we open anything from this era, especially this product, and not find everyone's favorite OG Omen, Chris freaking Sabo. Another guy that I just could not tolerate whatsoever as a kid because of the rec specs. Very angry little kid, I guess. My memory has definitely left me over the years, but I know there's definitely reasons why we hated certain players. Like if it had something to do with collecting, like I know I hated Felix Jose because I'd open packs 89 Donruss, hoping, desperately begging to pull the Griffey rookie, and I always get stuck with Felix Jose instead. So because of that, hated the guy. So that's one in particular. Mick Williams yet again, Renko yet again, Jesse Barfield again, Kurt Stillwell. There's Zach Canseco again, Devereaux and Joe Ursulak. So you have to try to make these this awful. Rediscovery says, hi, John. Taco Bell misses you, the Cantina. I was actually at Taco Bell. Was it yesterday? Maybe it was Wednesday. I went there. I saw Matt the Robot. He was kind of happy to see me when I walked in. And he was making small talk with me first time in a while. I actually got seconds. I ordered my regular, usual, and then I sat down, devoured that in 30 seconds. And then went back up again because I'm a fat slob, apparently. Freaking Larry McWilliams again. Quisenberry now is showing up, which I'm pretty sure this is how he became an Omen. Something like this is opening these products. Jesse Barfield for the 5th time, I think. Tim Tuffle again. We got an 86 record breaker of Keith Hernandez. There's that Fred Lynn for the 3rd time. And Bobby Valentine ends the pack. We only have 4 of these left. That's what I mean. These go way too quick. I have separation anxiety not opening Yak Packs frequently. They're just it's that Larry McWilliams again. Again, Quisenberry again, Jesse Barfield again. Sheffield, so awful that they are just the best time ever. Glenn Hoffman, Montgomery, and a Gary Gaetti. I think I was like stoked on that card back as a kid in '89. I don't know why. I thought it was cool. But we have seen this, what, 7 times now? So he has passed up John Butcher. Sorry to say we've only seen 3 of those cards. But overall, I mean, it hasn't been a terrible rip. We got some fake redemption in the mantle. John Doherty. Ow, I spoke too soon. Could not be more relieved to see another one. 4 on the count for him. I think that's number 6 for Abbott. Concepcion from '84. How much you want to bet? We have a 92 of On Calderon coming up. Brett again. Al Jones again. I don't get it. I do not get it. Like, I know if I were to make mystery packs that like were like these, it would take so much effort. You would have to have like complete sets of all the same years and just go through and just shuffle them to make packs. It seems like a huge hassle. I don't know. 6 Abbott's, 3 hands. There's that Blue Jays card yet again. Brett Barbary. Some more '82 Dunross. Stapleton, Jeff Montgomery. Second time seeing that. This is second to last pack. Doug DeCinces, '84 tops, flipped upside down. The off cut or off center and miscut short print, and Matt Williams yet again. So not a whole lot of variety in these. We have 1 pack left. I don't know what to do with myself after this. I need to find a palette of cases of these. We have to revisit them every so often. There's that Kurt Stillwell again. Steve Howard again. We got a Billy Martin from '83 tops. I don't think I've ever seen that card before. It's actually pretty sweet. Looking pissed off as ever in that photo. Willie McGee again. And might as well take a second to look at just what the hell is going on with all of their contests and everything else they were trying to force on you. But Rollie Fingers, apparently, if you meet him in person, he's never even heard of these. I think it was Boomslang that met him and got his autograph at a Philly card show like a year or 2 ago. And I think he sent me the video of it. Rollie just totally distanced himself from this. Examples of Yak's super low rates. What the hell? So Rollie Fingers had his own phone network? What the yak? Never looked at this before. 800,000 people use Yak. That's absolutely nuts. So they're just peddling all kinds of propaganda in their packs here. Can't imagine that's really a thing anymore. I would almost guarantee it. I don't even know what that was for. Randy Johnson for the 3rd time. Chris Sabo yet again. Long distance calling, Nick says. And Gary Gaetti again. So probably not the most interesting Yak Pack box, as we only got 4 John Butchers. So that kind of messed with my quota for the box. But we did get a crap load of Larry McWilliams from there. Enough to start my own personal PC of that card. Probably got 7 or 8 of those, maybe more. I lost count because there's so many of them. But now you see how much fun it is to open Yak Packs. But don't waste a bunch of money on them. I would say that they are probably worth $30 of value just for the ripping experience of finding all kinds of obscure random stuff like Skeletor or the Horse Kicker or whatever the hell autographs are on this helmet. But I would consider it a win because we did get a Mantle Starliner. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And hopefully we'll find another box of these sometime soon. And also 3 Bros in a card store, which somehow infiltrated like big box stores. Not sure how, but they are absolutely terrible. Way more awful than this. We might have to get a box of those again here pretty soon and rip into those. And I think maybe tomorrow night we'll rip into Nick West package that he sent, full of all those baseball rookie packs, and see just what we can unearth from that. And hopefully I'll have a weekend recap on Sunday. I've been kind of slacking on making videos. So stay tuned. I should have some stuff coming up very, very soon. So hopefully you will join me for that. Until next time, thank you guys all for watching. You guys freaking rule. I'll see you back hopefully tomorrow night.